Hi guys, welcome to today's video. So in this video we'll talk about the Pandas data frame. Okay, so Pandas data frame, for that you need to have the Pandas module installed in your system. So like if I go to terminal, I will type pip install. Let me first uninstall it. Okay, now you have to do pip install Pandas. So it's downloading Pandas module. Meanwhile, we'll start writing our code. Let's say I'll do import Pandas as PD, right? PD is the short form that we'll call Pandas from now on whenever we refer to Pandas. Okay. So once we do that, there's two ways you can actually create a Pandas data frame. Um, it's by first maybe defining a data, which is something like this, something like a dictionary, right, with a key value pair, where I say, let's say, name, column, and then I say um, comma, Rahul, and then let's say I have their phone numbers. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0, right? So now what we'll do is we will first print this data to see how it looks like. See, this is the data. Now we want to convert this into a data frame, right? Let's call it df. Df is equal to pd as pandas pd dot data frame of data, right? Now let's see how it looks like. See, it created a data frame with this format, a tabular format, with name and the phone number corresponding to each, right? That's one way of creating a data frame. Another way of creating a data frame is basically by reading from a file. So let's say I have book1.csv, which has some data, and I want to read it. So what I'm going to do is pd.read underscore csv, and then I will provide the file name. See, now it showing the data from that file, right? So these are two ways that you can create a data frame and assign data to it. Right now, now let's say our df has name, phone, and address, right? Now I want to perform, I just want to, let's say, look at the names, right? So what I'm going to do is df2 is equal to df dot loc 0 comma name. So let's say I'm gonna just look at the name column, right? So I'm gonna say df dot lock, and then I will give the access, and I will print df2. See, it will just give me the name that's at the position 0, right? At, so at position 0 we had abc as the name, right? So that's how lock works. Okay. And now instead of lock, instead of giving the column name as name here, you know that the name column is at the very first uh, 0th position, right? So for that there's an ilock function. So if I do that, print df, and then do this, right? So see, again you get the result abc, right? Now let's say I want to look at this one. So here I'm gonna give the the index of 4, and I want to give the second column, right? So 1. So let's see, it should print SDS. See, it print as SDS. So that's how you extract data from that. Now the next topic I want to go over is basically, uh, how do you know how big your data frame is, how many rows it contains, right? For that, what you have to do is simply write len of df. See, it gave 6 rows, right? Let me remove this. It gave 6 rows. So that's the length of the data frame. Okay. Now another important function of data frame is basically like reading CSV. You can also write your output of the data frame into another file. For that, let me do some manipulations on this data frame. Let's say I just want to drop few columns from this data frame. Now in my final data frame, I just want name and phone number, right? So how do I do that? I will do df2 is equal to df1, and then I will say name comma phone, and I keep forgetting the quotes, right? Now if I print df2, see, it just gave me name and phone, right? So now let's write this into a new file. df2 dot write to underscore csv, and say df2 dot csv, right? So if I run that, you will see df2 dot csv created here, which just contains name and the phone number, right? And while writing, if you don't want this index column here, right, which is automatically added, you can say index equal to false. If you do that, it's gonna simply write it in this format. Okay. And right now it is saying c1 c2, right? It is not taking my name and phone as headers, and I want them as headers. So I will say comma headers, header equal to true, right? And then run it. So now again in df2, now you have the headers as name and phone. So these are few simple operations you have to keep in mind while you are writing to a data frame, right? Now coming to another aspect of data frame is how to iterate through a data frame, right? You have a large number of rows, you want to perform some unique operations on each of the rows, or a simple operation across the rows. So for that you have to write a for loop to iterate through the data frame, right? So let's keep our original data frame which we read from book 1. Now what I'm gonna do is I will print each line one by one, right? So for that you can use iter rows. Okay, so for that you will say for index comma value in df dot iter rows, and print index value, right? See, for each index it's printing each of the values. So for the very first index it has name, this, phone, this, address, this, right? Now basically, what if you just want to extract the phone for index number 1, right? So what I'm gonna say is if my index equal to 1, then print value dot see DEF, right? So it printed that. So if index is 1, print the value of phone. So it printed DEF. So that's how you iterate through a data frame. Okay. So I think that's the most important operations of the data frames that I have told you in today's video. So hope you like this video and you find this helpful. So stay tuned for more such videos, and please subscribe this channel, like this video if it really helped you, and thank you so much for watching.